Hey everybody, welcome to Small Group. I'm so excited for your time together. I want you to know something about us at Emmanuel. We try to be very strategic, and it doesn't take you long to be a part of our community before you understand that we're on this mission to help people know Jesus and grow to be like him. And our strategy to do that is to help people engage in ever increasing levels of intimacy with God and with other people. So what you're doing together today is part of that strategy. And I just want to thank you for taking the mission so personally, because we really do believe that our best way of getting close to Jesus is with other people. So the fact that you took that step and you plugged into a group and you're meeting is huge. So thank you so much. I want to kickstart our conversation in a place that might make some of you uncomfortable, and I'll apologize ahead because it's a sports analogy that centers on the Chicago Cubs, but I think you'll find it helpful. You remember a few years back when Theo Epstein took over the Cubs and he came right out and said, hey, we're going to go through a rebuilding process. It's going to be ugly and we're not going to win for a while. And I remember when I heard that as a Cubs fan, I was excited because I knew something good was coming. But I got to be honest with you, in the years leading up to this past one, it was hard. And there were times where I was just frustrated being a Cubs fan. There were honestly times where I just didn't want to care anymore. I didn't want to pay attention because it always ended in frustration. And it seemed like if there was a plan, it wasn't going well. But I held on. There was just this part of me that decided, you know what? I'm going to hold on to this promise of 5 years down the road that something great will come of this. And then 2016 came, and in November we celebrated the first World Series win for the Cubs in 108 years. That's a long time. That's a long journey, but it was worth it. The joy and the ecstasy and jumping up and down and banging pots and pans at our house was so worth the wait. But we had to wait. And sometimes in our relationship with God, it can feel an awful lot like being a Cubs fan. You know, we spent a lot of time saying maybe next year, maybe next year. And I think sometimes in our own walk, when life doesn't go according to plan and everything falls off the rails, we say things like maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow will be better. Maybe tomorrow will have something in store for me that'll improve upon today. But then we get to tomorrow and we realize it's not much better than today. So we keep saying it and can get to the point where we become cynical and want to give up. But if there's one thing that the story of Job shows us right at the very end, is that it's worth it. It's worth it. That wherever God is taking us is better than where we're at. Wherever we're at today will pale in comparison to where he's going to take us tomorrow. Now, I don't know for sure when that tomorrow is. For most of us, that tomorrow is going to be on the other side of eternity. But that eternity is worth the wait because Jesus promised he'll wipe away every tear. He'll make sure there's no more crying, no more sorrow, no more pain. And ultimately, that's what Job experiences at the end of his life. His finances are restored. His family is restored. His health is restored. And he lives another 140 years enjoying what God delivered. But it took time to get there. And there was this whole process in between. So what we have to get good at is accepting the fact that God is taking us somewhere, and sometimes in the middle of it, we're going to be confused and we're going to feel like the plan is not working. But wherever he's taking us is better than where we're at. Because I can tell you, being a Cubs fan today is better than it was being a Cubs fan a couple years ago. So it was worth the wait. So remember, the thing I'm encouraging us all to do, the mantra that we're going to kind of live by for the next little while, is not there yet. Meaning there is a there, and we're going there, and God's going to take us there. But we understand we're in process, and we're not there yet, but it will come because God always comes through. So I hope that you have a great conversation about all that stuff for the next little while. Enjoy your time together, and we'll see you next week.